Hey there, it's Jessie with Winter Moon Gifts, and this is not the content that I had actually planned on creating, but I felt like venting because this is all about being a woman-owned small business. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with my fresh sunburn and everything. So let's get into it. It is honestly one of those days where I'm questioning my sanity and just thinking heavily about why I'm doing what I'm doing and where I want it to go. I've talked about in other videos that I've been extensively looking into trademarking my business, and it's expensive. It's literally thousands of dollars. If you know anything about trademarking, applying, you can apply yourself and save money, but in all the research and everything that I've done, it just is very apparent to me that the wise choice is to hire a trademarking attorney to do the legwork for you and do the application for you. And I finally decided to go ahead and begin that process and retained an attorney and paid the retainer and was very excited and have been looking forward to putting it out here that I'm trademarking my business. It's a smart business move, I feel like. The money is what scares me. The money is what scares me the most because I'm a small business, but I want to grow. And this is going to help me grow, I feel like. So I've been looking forward to that. I have a meeting tomorrow to take steps. It's all very nerve wracking. It's very nerve-wracking. I've been excited but stressed at the same time about this whole trademarking thing. I'll keep y'all updated on that. But then also another vendor friend of mine messaged me last week and was like, "Have you heard of this blah 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 place here in town?" That she was getting some free seminar help with marketing and advertising. And I feel like that is the one thing that I suck the most at, is like online marketing, social media, all of that. If you've watched, I struggle and I'm not happy with it. So in my mind, a good business choice would be to hook up with these people who are supposed to help with that. And so I reached out and I had a meeting today. And I've never heard of these people before. I didn't know what they offered. I contacted them saying, online seminars, this is the type of stuff that I'm interested in. And they set up a meeting with me today. So I went and met with them, knowing that I really wasn't clear exactly what they did, but knowing that they could possibly help me. And I left that meeting just like, wow, like not at all what I was expecting. And I don't mean it in a good way. So I walk into this meeting with this lady and she asks me, what's your life story? Like, who are you and what is this? And I know that I'm there on a business meeting. So I'm like, I'm the owner of Winter Moon Gifts. I make candles and metal art and I sell it at the farmers markets. And she's like, well, where do you see this? Where do you want your business to go? And I said, well, I'm here hoping to get some insight on some seminars that you may have, online marketing type of stuff, because I do all of the things, was a bookkeeper for 10 years and this and that. And like, I know how to do most of the stuff, but marketing is where I struggle. And she's like, marketing is where everybody struggles. Like, okay, that's fair. I'm not alone. And so I made it point blank, I'm looking for online help. This social media type of stuff. Like a friend of mine referred me to you for these seminars and she's like, oh, we've got one here. I'm like, cool, I'll register for that. But then she starts asking me more questions of like, so you sell at farmers markets? And I said, yes, I do. And she's like, that just doesn't really seem like the type of place for your product, which it was very demeaning, I feel like. And I probably am I don't want to say I'm one of the few people, but I recognize the fact that the only reason why farmers markets are allowing artisans into their markets is because, unfortunately, our farms and ranches are closing and they don't have enough producers, farmers, ranchers to fill these spaces with produce. And so now they're allowing artisan vendors in. I respect that. I can respect the fact that a farmer's market is a farmer's market. And I am very thankful that I am allowed to be a part of it, first off. So from there, it goes into, well, do you have any of your products here locally in these stores? And I said, I don't now. I did at a business, but they have unfortunately closed their doors. And I haven't reached out to other companies to try to sell my product. And she says, well, do you sell online? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. So she's like, oh, let's check it out. I'm like, okay, cool. We're getting somewhere. I'm looking for help online. And you pop in, shameless plug, www.wintermoongifts.com, and you get to my homepage and blam, there's a picture of me right there. And she's like, is that you? Yeah, that's me. And it just seemed like it was very critiquing it. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe we're getting somewhere here, because I stated I was looking for social media help, marketing. She's looking at my website. Maybe she's going to give me some insight on that. She's like, nope. Turns around and starts asking me about my candles. And she says, you need to figure out for your marketing what sets you apart and what demographic you're going to go after, because there's millions of candle makers out there. And to me, it seems like you just took a hobby and tried to turn it into a business. That, in my opinion, was a sucker punch. And I was instantly like, apparently there's a problem here somewhere. In my mind, I'm thinking, and it's like instant, like, okay, this meeting can be over anytime. And then she tried to enlighten me with other things, and she's like, you were a bookkeeper. Do you have books? Yeah. Is it QuickBooks? Yeah. Have you ever done a cash flow? Yes. Well, then do you know what sells and what doesn't sell? I absolutely know what sells and doesn't sell. Like, where is this going? She's like, you need to do homework. You need to figure out who you're selling to, what sets you apart from everybody else, and how you're going to sell it to them. You need to do homework. You need to do homework. She told me that a bunch. I've done my homework. Then she asked me how many candle scents that I have. And I'm like, well, I switch them out through the seasons. I have 10 or so candles for the holidays, fall holiday season. And then I have summer candles. She's like, can you make them down to 5? Because if people have too many choices, they can't choose and therefore won't buy. How many people actually smell your candles and buy them? And I told her, in all frank honesty, anybody who sells my candles, smells my candles, usually buy. Oh. You need to do homework. And then, after telling me that I need to have less candle scents, Oh, she was like, where you need to figure out what your cash point is. And you know what? Maybe that's good advice. I've never thought about like how much money do I want to make so I can figure out how much advertising and how to go about advertising. That was the advice that I was given. Please tell me, please tell me in the comments if anybody is watching this that has been successful in marketing and advertising their business, if they started out that process with figuring out how much money they wanted to make. And I was being lighthearted. And she's like, where do you want to see your business go? I'm like, I want a vacation in the Bahamas. I'd like to make that much money that I could go take a vacation in the Bahamas. Well, how many candles would you have to sell for that? That would be a lot. Well, you need to do your homework. It wasn't a good meeting at all. So obviously it ultimately ended. I mean, I left there. I don't want to say mad. I wasn't really mad. And the sad thing about it is because it's like when the hobby thing came up, I have already faced that in my personal life of people thinking that I'm just have a hobby and I'm trying to play it off as work. But that really hit me. But I wasn't really mad. I left there more like that was a waste of time. And I'm not going to let it get me down. Maybe there was miscommunication. I feel like often I don't portray myself properly with my words. Maybe I don't know. But I'm like, whatever. That was just, I put myself out there to try to get some insight and help marketing my business. It didn't work, whatever. But then, there's like the anxiety part of me, and it's sitting with me, and I'm still trying not to stew. I'm trying not to stew. And that's why I'm making this video, to vent. And as soon as my husband comes home, I'm going to vent to him because I feel like it is kind of bringing me down a little bit. This is a local community, a local organization that is supposed to help small businesses. And if they can't help me with social media marketing or online marketing, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I wasn't expecting what it was, though. And so I came home and, relaxed a little bit, did some odds and ends and stuff that I needed to do, and was like, okay, I need to get to work and make the video that I was intending on making. And as soon as I opened up to start doing this, I got an email notification from my attorney with the trademarking. And nothing easy this way comes. It's the plan, the payment plan that I opted for. It's a monthly plan instead of paying a very large lump sum and maxing out my credit cards. But it depends on how risky your trade name is. And I really thought that my name of my business would be a low risk. And apparently it's going to be a medium risk, which means I'm going to have to pay more money to try. No guarantee on trademarking my name, but to try. And apparently part of that problem is Bath and Body Works have trademarked the word winter for some of their candles. So that amongst other things puts me in a moderate risk. And I just sit and reflect right now on this day. And I wonder where I'm going with all of this. frankly, I'm probably going to move forward with the trademarking. It's just scary. It's scary. I could spend thousands of dollars and not get a trademark. The advice from my attorney is I have a probable, possibility, I guess. My odds are pretty good. Oh, it's just scary. It's scary. It is so scary. I'm going to continue selling at farmers markets and appreciating the fact that I am an artisan at a farmers market. I'm going to keep doing what I do and keep pushing forward. But today is a tough day. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you for listening to me vent. And maybe after my meeting tomorrow, I'll actually get to the video that I want to create because I think it might be helpful to some. So thank you for watching.